Holy mackerel.
The defense thing, Joe.
Yeah.
This is the type of team that we should be so proud of.
I agree.
It's my goodness, the type of team that goes out there and shuts down King Henry and Lamar. And then turns around and does that to them, like the we're gonna grind you into submission.
That's right.
Against that team that does that in the AFC.
There's no question, John.
And by the way, our defense, it's the youngest in the NFL. This is when you include Darius Slay, who's not even playing right now.
Right.
Because he has the concussion. When you include his 33 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
The Eagles' defense is still the youngest in the NFL with a 25-year average. 25!
They didn't have anyone starting on the field for the Eagles over the age of 27 on defense.
I guess Josh Sweat's second oldest, maybe?
Yeah, must be.
Probably, right?
Well, think about this. Our defense, the youngest in the NFL. Maybe? No one can block Jalen Carter. Well, okay, sorry. They try to block Jalen Carter with two people.
Well, they hold him also.
And it sort of helps.
Blatantly.
Yeah. But then that opens everything up for everyone else. And then Quinyon and Cooper, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Zach Bond is a maniac. His story is maniacal.
Yep.
Also,
it's incredible.
N'Kobe is young and blowing everybody up. We're young and strong and fearsome on both sides of the football, and it's the coolest thing ever. We should be so proud. And think of the message that Cooper DeJean sent to the Ravens sideline yesterday when he took King Henry and deposited him the wrong way. That giant man.
I know.
Who runs roughshod all over this entire league whenever he wants to, all the time. Cooper DeJean said, boom, the wrong way. And everyone saw, and everyone sees, and everyone feels how dominant the youngest defense in the NFL is.
John,
and the offense didn't really have to do that much.
No, I agree with that. Look, I love your energy and how fired up you are. I mean, look, we want to hear from everyone at 215-592-9494. It's a day to be fired up because that was a game to be fired up about. It really was thrilling. It was a phenomenal victory. All aspects of it, from the offense, defense, special teams with pinning them in with those punts was great. We'll get to it all. Let me just start this way because I'm going to start really big picture. The first comment I have to say is I actually thought it was one of the most impressive victories, obviously, the Eagles have had this decade. And I was trying to figure it out, after the game last night. I got it as the third best win the Eagles have had this decade.
Just regular season we're talking?
No. Beating San Fran NFC Championship game, definitely number one. They took apart a great San Fran team. They knocked out two quarterbacks. One had to come back in, but that's number one. Number two, winning on the road in KC last year. This is number three this decade. This is the fifth season the Eagles have played this decade. I thought it was the third best win the Eagles have had in 5 years. And by the way, you go before that, you might be able to go all the way back to 2017. Okay? So, phenomenal victory. That's number one. Number two, I've seen enough of pro football to know these things. This is the kind of win that really can set the table to win a Super Bowl. And what I'm talking about is home field advantage. It's not to say the Eagles can't win in Detroit. It's not to say that Detroit can't win here. But we all know the goal is made easier if that NFC Championship game is played in here in late January. And yesterday's win, which was so clearly the hardest game remaining for the Eagles this year, now with 5 games up ahead where they're going to be comfortably favored in all 5. I mean, Pittsburgh will be something, but Detroit.
That's at home.
Have you seen?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yes, schedule? That's what I'm getting at, John. Detroit is going to lose down the stretch. Maybe once, certainly are. Maybe twice.
And they have tons of injuries.
Yeah, and the Eagles are probably going to go if they have to go 5-0. If the Eagles have to play all the way through, ladies and gentlemen, we're probably looking at a 15-2 team. So this is the kind of win that can win you home field advantage, that can win you a Super Bowl. Those are my first two takeaways. Now I'm going to give you takeaway number 3. John said last week, and he wasn't wrong. John started the show after the Eagles had played a game, and he said Saquon Barkley can win the Eagles the Super Bowl. And he's right about that. The Eagles defense can win the Eagles the Super Bowl. Those are my three biggest takeaways from this game. I thought it was a monumental victory by the Eagles yesterday. Just phenomenal. Obviously, the teeth of the defense was amazing, from the guys you totally count on to the guys you're now starting to count on. Really impressive. And we want to hear from you at 215-592-9494. I mean, John, I got to tell you, what Vic Fangio's doing, and it's not to discredit the players, nor Howie, because I got to tell you, what Howie did, look, he lost 5 starters off the 2022 defense, so it took some time to rebuild it. Okay, and it's a pretty cheap defense. All things considered, there's not that many guys that are paying on defense. It was a masterclass in rebuilding the defense. It is a masterclass in defensive coordinating, and the players are frickin' playing.
Well, we are young, strong, we're fearsome on both sides of the football, but that defense, yeah, Vic Fangio, I don't know what the magic stuff is, but thank you for whatever that, I don't even know.
Formula.
The formula, where it seems as though everyone is just, they're all together. They are so together. And it just almost enhances the toughness or something. And we're fearsome. It's awesome to feel that way. We thought the offense was going to carry everything, and it still can, but it doesn't have to. And it's a good thing it doesn't have to. Like yesterday proved. Again, each week proves that we can win in a variety of ways. And by the way, this is something that this head coach has preached for an awful long time, and it almost makes him sound, I don't know, wise.
Let's
talk about the fact that Nick Sirianni has done an unbelievable job with this team this year, especially since the bye. And since there must have been a look in the mirror moment, and he has toned it down in the right places, and he's toned it up in the right places, and Nick Sirianni has been outstanding this season. The team responds to him, and you can't have a team this good without impeccable leadership from the guy steering it.
I agree.
So I'm thankful that Nick Sirianni continues to show that 1% improvement that I'm looking for, hoping for from the coach.
One of the main things Sirianni preaches, and he talked about it again post-game yesterday, it's been a common theme for him for 4 years, and it's a credit to him for pounding it into them, but for them to have it. They are physical. They are tough, man. They are really physically tough. I mean, the Cooper DeJean play obviously sums up a lot. Skill, physicality, 1-2.
That is...
Okay? That's right there with the Saquon play, in my opinion, for this year. It was stunning.
It's a monument. It is just, I don't know, bookmark.
I agree, John.
Bookmark. That matters. That moment matters. And I can't ever forget the way it made me feel. I hope it was as resonant with the guys on that sideline as it was with me as a fan.
The announcer said it was. The announcer said it was. CBS didn't show it, but he said the bench went wild. Look, we want to hear from you today, 215-592-9494. What a tremendous win. Your phone calls, whether it's on Hurts, Sirianni, Saquon, the O-line, the defense, the rest of the way, really, guys, look it up. I mean, Pittsburgh's pretty much the only game they could maybe lose. They really look like they might be about to be 15-2. And what a season and what a turnaround from a rocky start. Joe DeCamera, John Ritchie, your phone calls all show. What a win on 94 WIP.